So we are the group that did the Encourage Tomorrow organization. Basically what that is, we already kind of went through this. I'm just going to do a short overview. Basically it's a group that focuses on helping children and parents for specific after-school projects. That's just their main focus. Next slide here, we have the pictures of ourselves in the group. We have me, Owen, then Kiara, Alex, and then Jenna, and then Felicity. And next we have Brandy Collins was the individual that we worked with in for our specific group. She was the program coordinator. Basically, anytime we needed information, we went to her. So whether it was for passwords for Facebook or information regarding stuff for their website, she was our contact person. And so we were in contact with her throughout the entire process. Like I said before, the target audience for their organization basically are the children's and teens, disadvantaged families, potential volunteers, of course. Every organization wants volunteers. Now, as far as the social media that they had when we started, they did have Facebook. They actually had like 7 Facebooks. They also had a website that had really good information. However, it was in some way outdated and the graphics were pretty bad. Now, as far as the resources, they were also loaded as well. And then we also had an action plan. Basically, we were wanting to improve the Encourage Tomorrow website, the Facebook page, and then create a LinkedIn. And then Alex will explain the LinkedIn.
Exactly, thank you. And so, as Owen was saying, we had these 3 main ideas going into this project. However, we learned throughout the course that there are much more opportunities in social media than just these 3. And so, as you can see in our presentation, we have much more than just these 3, and we adapted our knowledge through the course. And so we first started with LinkedIn. This is one of the main things that Encourage Tomorrow wanted to see out of our organization. And so they wanted LinkedIn to have a more professional side in their business. And however, one thing though, when we were trying to create the actual business, official business LinkedIn, we came across a problem. They said that there was a domain issue and they couldn't actually get a business account. So we made a group instead, and we felt that this is still a good way to keep people in contact through LinkedIn. And so we have the LinkedIn, and they didn't have any knowledge whatsoever. So Owen and I especially, we researched this aspect, and then we really went for it. And then so I was able to compile information from their websites, and then to create their LinkedIn. And so here's just the main front page. And then what I did was I created a promotions, and I put each of their activities they have and kind of described them in more detail so if you want to click on these. And then one of the biggest things they wanted to do was having a jobs thing to get the word out to people who actually they were going to hire. So these are like tutors and academic mentors. And so now on this place, they can have this job opening for X amount of time or until they see fit to it's filled. And so this way they can kind of target the target audience of the business aspect we think.
Alright, and so one of the things that we talked about at our initial meeting with Brandy and the CEO was their website. And they just asked us, do you have any recommendations when you look at it? What are some suggestions that you would like to make? And so overall, their front page looks awesome. It looks great, but when you get into the actual information and trying to figure out, okay, so I want to go to this program, where is it, what time is it at, things like that, logistics, those were missing. And so we made a few suggestions. Okay, so one of the suggestions was to include the PDF that they had. They had the PDF, a link to a PDF with all the program descriptions and more information about each program on one of their pages. And so we just suggested put that under each link to each program so that no one can miss it. If someone's looking for more detailed information, it's just right there for them. Another suggestion we made was that they would include a Twitter icon up by that Facebook, the little blue Facebook circle icon. That they would include Twitter and as well as their LinkedIn when they got that up and going. And so those were just some of the suggestions that we made for their website. And of course, we weren't able to actually go in and make these changes or put the LinkedIn icon there for them. That has to go through their people. But we made those suggestions, and Brandy is taking a look into those things.
integration of all of the various old Facebook accounts with the new upgoing Facebook account that Brandy had created. Owen and I, we drove over to the Encourage Tomorrow office since we did not have access to the password and username for the old accounts from home. And we ended up creating an event on all of the Facebook accounts, inviting their members to like the new Facebook page, to try and transition all of the members to the new Facebook page, which will then, and this is like an ongoing process, and you can see from the new Facebook page. The next slide. It's an ongoing process. We're still at 23 likes, but it's slowly growing as time goes on. And eventually, Brandy will deactivate all the Facebook accounts when she feels the time is right.
And then, as Parmita shared about Hootsuite with us, we thought that would be a great thing for Encourage Tomorrow to look into. So, with Brandy's permission, I went ahead and created a Hootsuite account for Encourage Tomorrow. She had never heard of it before, so we sent information that I think can be found in the handbook as well, just about Hootsuite in general, things she can do, how to add different social media profiles. So just step-by-step information regarding Hootsuite, and how to actually schedule posts and things like that. So Brandy is the main program coordinator, and so she has a lot on her plate. So this is one way she can just de-stress all of the different social media things she has to worry about. She can schedule the posts ahead of time, like we learned about. So she was pretty excited about this. She's going to go ahead and add their Facebook and their Twitter, as well as any other social media tools that they will get in the future.
Yeah, which that's a really nice segue into our social media toolkit. That's what we're calling it. It's this handbook that's been going around. If you get a chance to look at that. And so basically what we thought is that because we have limited access to create actual change in their organization right now, we wanted to give them something that they can use in the future. So we made this handbook, which we're calling a toolkit, that basically any intern or whoever is working in the social media department can pick up and use that just as a reference. This is a table of contents. If you haven't looked at it yet, it covers a lot of basic like Facebook etiquette, ideas, and some guidelines for content so that they can market themselves best on a social media platform. And we focus mainly on Facebook because that's their primary social media source. And then the other major part of it is the idea of social media planning, which is, in my research online, a lot of nonprofit and business experts recommend that in order to just streamline the process and be the most efficient with your time and resources, it's a really good idea to plan out how you're going to do your social media, whatever you're going to do there. So I included 2 different examples of social media planners or calendars, and so basically what those allow you to do is, say you're Encouraged Tomorrow, you pick a theme for a month. So say this month we're going to talk about volunteering, and then for each week you think of like a sub-theme or topic, and then within those topics you can just plan out whatever social media activity you're going to have that goes along with it. So it saves time because you spend a little bit of time planning it, and then you just, as the days come by, you go ahead and do it. And Hootsuite is a great tie-in there because once you've decided what you're going to do, so for instance, on Monday we're going to post a bunch of pictures of our volunteers, and then on Tuesday we're going to post a quote about excellence and ask our followers to respond to that and talk about how, ways that we can improve or make the volunteering experience better, that sort of thing. And so with Hootsuite, you can just very easily make that happen. You don't have to every day log in, post whenever you need to. So it just becomes a very streamlined process. So that's overall the handbook, which we think will be a really great legacy to leave with them.
And so, to finish what he was starting, is that one of the biggest problems with Encourage Tomorrow was that they couldn't have the resources to effectively do social media on a daily basis. Especially because Brandy, this is like her little project she took up, it's not her whole job. And so what we were trying to do is try to give them something that they can give to almost anyone. And they can just pick it up and pretty much learn what we learned here. And we want to compile all the knowledge we have here to give it to them in a form in which we think the best is our book. And this little book is, what they're able to do is just keep our knowledge and use social media as best as they can. And they don't have to be an expert, use our nice, easy out layout, and then hopefully have a strong social media